I'm just acting Chicallywood. The question is, if somebody is basically gaining a fan base, they gaining a presence, they making some money, is it a bad thing to be considered a Tubi actor? Because from my understanding, there's people making some bread.
Yeah, and they're not gonna care.
Yeah,
that you call them a Tubi actor,
right?
Because they bank accounts is like,
Yeah.
what you say again? you know?
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's kind of correlating to, so you have people who are really famous in Hollywood, but then out of nowhere came the YouTube stars, right? So the Hollywood actors and Hollywood people felt some type of way. So I feel like now Hollywood kind of feels some type of way about Tubi because Tubi is like its own lane, its own market.
That's fact.
So would you suggest if somebody's getting in this business, right? They're watching this and they're seeing the success that you have, but then somebody offers them a Tubi role. But then people are making fun of it because it's like, oh, that's Tubi. What is your advice? Is it like, no, man, get that, go out there, don't care what nobody say? Is that your perspective?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like the best teacher is experience.
Yeah.
So if someone is shooting a movie and they just happen to be, their focus isn't necessarily the protocol way of how people in Hollywood go about doing movies, but they have a platform for you to be seen because no one will know you're an actor unless you're out here, you know? You could train 24 hours a day, but no one would know you're an actor unless you got something to show for it. So why not get the experience?
Yeah.
And at some point, as you grow and you become a stronger actor, back off just a little bit and then have a game plan.
Yeah.
You know, because Tubi ain't the end all be all, and I'm sure these actors that's making their bank feel the same way. They're now saying, "Hey, I'm ready for an agent." They're going to get agents because they're ready for Hollywood. You know, they've put in the work. That doesn't mean they're gonna stop being on Tubi because they day rate get paid on Tubi.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen some famous people in some Tubi movies, so that's why matter of fact, I've seen big budget movies on Tubi, but I don't know like how it works. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with licensing and all that stuff like that. But it's like, my thing is, look, if you can entertain people, I don't care what platform it is, because I watch some entertaining stuff on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's how I kind of came across your work, because I saw you in a bunch of stuff that was in some film festivals. I saw you on some stuff that was on social media.
Nice.
So that's why I was just like, okay, she seems like she's getting her tribe together. She's getting her fans, because you said you have a lot of people outside of Chicago that's been checking for you.
Yes.
So that's really important because you've kind of created your name. How do you go about, basically, now that you've done these Tubi movies and you're getting the experience, how do you now look for roles? How do you look for projects?
Oh, well, I will say this. I have close to 28. I probably have well over there. I feel like I've been seeing 28 for a minute. So I haven't had an agent.
Okay.
So the way that I market myself, because that's all I did was market myself, was I post every day. I don't care if what I posted was deemed trash. If you know, like, I didn't care. I market myself, and I would follow every director, anybody in film production. I followed, I liked, I would comment, I would network. That was my form. That's what I use social media as my network outlet, because that's all I had, and that's how I ended up getting a lot of my opportunities to get started.
Yeah.
The first movie I got picked for was actually out of Memphis by a director named Robert Parker.
Okay.
And I got my first opportunity out there, and I was on like payroll for about a year and a half once I started working with that guy out there. So that's what that's what networking online did. It opened up for me to be able to meet other people, and I realized, like, oh wait, you know, it's another market outside of Chicago. So, but now I am focusing. I want to focus on my market here in Chicago. I don't want to be left out just because I'm out of state. So, I do work with a lot of great, dope directors here in Chicago too. You know, so can't leave them out the conversation.
So it sounds like your networking skills is on point. Yes. You know, so being in this industry, would you say you're approachable? Because it's a little bit one of them things where sometimes people have to be, we live in this climate of where like things can be taken the wrong way. Like, how does one approach you to say, hey, I want you in my film? You know, because I think it's kind of, how can I put this? I want to make sure that women are comfortable to be in this business and be able to work. So some guys, you know, they're like, man, I don't know how to approach it because I don't want to come off like this or whatever. What is the best way to approach you as a woman to be like, hey, I want you in my project?
Well, again, I haven't had an agent
Right.
Up until this point. So the best way to reach me is my DM, because 9 times out of 10, director's not gonna have like your number or anything. So, or I leave my email on everything. My email as well as my number is on my IMDb. So technically, yes, somebody could contact me if they want to, and that's usually what happens. So I'm an open book. Like if somebody called me about an opportunity, like, hey, tell me more about the role, and if it's something that I am willing or open to doing at, especially at this stage in my career, then it's a go. Let's go.
So has it been some movies that you like, man, you know what? I could have did better.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I mean, as you go forward, how did you basically prepare yourself to go forward and bigger for the next one?
Well, I'm my biggest critique in anything that I do, So every movie I feel like is a moment of transition for me. So I don't want to call my movies trash. No, I see my progression. I just try to be better every time, and then I follow some of my favorite actors, and I watch their movies. Like I'm not big on television like that, but I watch movies of my favorite actors, and like Tessa Thompson, anything she's in, I like watching her. I study her. I like to watch her for her vulnerability.
Nice.
And it's something for me to study, you know. I like to study her name is Dominique Fisherman-Back or something like that.
Okay.
She's a newer actor. She's young. She's like 20, I want to say 26.
Nice.
She cold. She got like 4 popular movies that's on Netflix that came out in the last 2 years. I cannot think of one for the life of me right now. Amazing. Yeah. I mean, like the range is out this world. So so those are the people that I like to spend my time to study, so that I become a better actor. It allows for me to show my range, and so that's my new focus now. Yeah. Because what I want to avoid now is being typecast.
So typecast is something that I've kind of heard is a little bit synonymous with this business, where sometimes if you kill the role too well, that's all you get, And I think sometimes it's good for if a person is like, yo, I'm here to get the paper, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or I'm comfortable with that, but I think sometimes people want to grow out of that.
Yes.
So how would you avoid being typecast?
Well, I stick to my boundaries. So if I set a goal, which is something I did in 2024, I said that I've done so many of a certain genre movie, which was like be someone's girlfriend, a sexual insinuation. Yeah. I did that in Diary of a Unicorn, my most popular movie, Okay. Like, I feel like I did that already, Right, and right. People have seen that a lot of my opportunities come from that movie, you know? So I just want people to know that I have other things to myself, and like I have range, and I can't wait till y'all see a movie by Will Gates out of Chicago.
Shout out to Will Gates.
Yeah, it's coming out soon. I think it's in post-production. It might already be done, to be honest with you, but it's called The Preacher's Truth. Okay. And that movie, people will get a chance to see my range. Yeah. People will see my growth in Sherelle Brown's movie too. Yeah. Auntie. Shout out to Sherelle Brown. Yes. Auntie. Yes. Yep, that should be coming out soon too. I saw that too. So shout out to Sherelle. I checked it out. I was like, man, like I said, you working. Yeah. That's why I was just like, man, like you're very consistent, because no disrespect to people that basically do a movie here and there, because life be lifing, right? Mm-hmm. How do you find time to be able to just say, yo, okay, I want to be in this, I want to be in that, and this and that, because we're still at that level, or where it's like we're still trying to make this our full-time situation. So how do you balance life to be able to do all this? Well, I choose movies that I know that's gonna help my resume. Yeah. One at this time. So I allow myself the free time, because I also have other aspirations. Mm-hmm. I am now transitioning into the production side of things. Yes. I love that side too. I had no idea I would love it, but I attempted to shoot my first feature film. How was it? You know what? I'm just acting Chicallywood.